The overall perspective from the beginning and our involvement with the Department of Architecture here at Temple, everyone felt that student involvement was going to be key to the project. We felt it was a lot better to discuss what the panels would do, discuss where we would think about putting them, and have the student input on the whole design process, and then carry that to the nth degree and have the students participate in the actual installation of the product. The sound waves that are most offensive in these particular instances are the ones that are striking a vertical surface and bouncing in a horizontal fashion like some type of a racquetball game.
I think the solution that I thought initially would work in this space was hanging some kind of acoustic ceiling clouds, and that was the avenue we pursued initially.
Normally, the place that you would first look is the ceiling, but in this particular instance, the presence of the sprinkler system dictated that that was not an option. The Homosote type panels told us that we had to provide them with a surface that was indeed tackable so that they would be able to continue doing the things that they had been doing in the past. Our primary resource is placing fiberglass wall panels on the surface. We tended to move towards that. It was something that was well within the capabilities of the students to install, and it would also physically address the acoustic problems that were present in the environment. The day that we came to do the installation, there was a full class here. We had set up the panels in 3 different areas. That way we could split them up into smaller teams, and everyone could get some degree of a hands-on experience in installing the panels.
I met with the class about 6 months ago to teach them a class on acoustics, and they knew there was a problem in their classroom, but they didn't understand reverberation time, NRC. So to go from the initial kind of overview to then actually bring in the products to fix their problem, I think they got to be involved in the entire process.
I think it's pretty cool. I think helping out this room, be able to actually hear my professors speak and everything like that, it's a pretty cool experience, seeing how just putting up panels like on these walls right here can actually affect the room and the sound quality.
Class was kind of hard with studio because you could hear them talking while we'd be sitting in class and like trying to listen. So I think these panels are going to do like a great job in like helping students focus in the room.
The students are really getting into using their hands and getting to know the material and what its benefits are.
Anyone could have walked in here the day before and missed the actual installation and come in here 2 days hence, and they would have said, my goodness, what have you done acoustically inside this space, because things are much different than they were a couple of days ago.
The students really enjoyed being a part of the installation. You could markedly feel and hear the difference in the room. Just being able to speak without the ringing in my ears in particular, not having to ask somebody to repeat what they were saying. It just has a whole calming effect to the entire environment.
The School of Visual Arts has students from over 60 countries. It was very important to provide a space that would allow for maximum speech intelligibility, to allow the students to be able to hear that teacher no matter where they were in the classroom. What was critical for the School of Visual Arts was adding absorption, but not taking away from the look of the space.
The challenges that the project for the School of Visual Arts created for us was essentially creating an educational environment on an 8th floor of a New York City loft building, a space that has defined walls and ceilings, a very rigid structure, columns that were relatively tight together. And within these very orthogonal spaces, we wanted to create a dynamic living environment where students could mingle around, where the daylight was really coming into the space, yet also create an environment where we could have an auditorium within that space, an auditorium that had to be secure, secluded, private, and acoustically sealed.
In the auditorium, we really needed to focus on sound transmission as well as sound absorption. It was not only important to have excellent absorption within the space, but we wanted sound not to travel outside of the space and impact others in a negative manner. In the classroom, we chose a different solution. We chose a high-density glass fiber Echofon ceiling panel. It's our Echofon Focus E. That was used to maximize speech intelligibility in the classrooms. In the edit space, we introduced good absorption using our Adagio product. This is a composite product. It's unique in the industry. It gives you excellent sound absorption and excellent sound blocking capabilities. Not only did we address sound in the ceiling, but we also needed to address it in the wall. We wanted to make sure that any sound that was being produced in that edit room did not exit the space and interrupt other spaces.
We really collaborated a lot with CertainTeed. They came to our office, we found the solution, we developed the solution, and we really, with that collaboration and that partnership, we ended up being able to make a project better than we all anticipated on our own.
FKP and the hospital wanted to create a really superior environment, being that it was the first of its kind for Texas Children's.
It was really a new business venture for Texas Children's Hospital. The acoustic qualities were so important. The patient and every visitor that comes in this building needed to be in a place that felt right. There's many challenges this project presented. We needed a ceiling product that allowed minimal seams, that was easily removable, and then the NICU areas required an even more sound absorbent type of material to allow for the lower decibel ratings that the kids need.
When you have babies, they're very sensitive to noise, and so you really need a high level of acoustical performance. The Echofon Master was used because there was an increasing need for noise absorption in those spaces, in the public areas and in some of the patient areas. We helped FKP to specify Echofon Focus DS, which is a fully concealed system with high noise absorption properties. And then the Skybridge, we also utilized the Echofon Focus DS because it was meant to create a V-shape, so it allowed for those joints to be addressed as well as creating accessibility. And then we had acoustics, which was also featured in the public spaces, which allowed for an element of visual interest.
CertainTeed helped us out in so many ways. They built mock-ups for us, presented them at client meetings, took us on tours to prove to the client this product worked the way that they described it. So yeah, definitely CertainTeed is a very good product and we'd use them again.